Hello 7th grade students, how are you today? In this video we will answer some questions of reading comprehension in page 60 pupils book. Let's start with the first question, which is answer these questions, or the first exercise. Point number 1, what did grandfather want George to collect? You will read the lesson again to be able to answer these all questions. The first question, its answer will be to collect a present for his cousin Sally. Number 2, why didn't George mind going to Mr. Duffy's house? We said the meaning of the word mind is to refuse, إنه يرفض. ليش ما رفض إنه يروح على Mr. Duffy's house? Because he loved talking to Mr. Duffy about his work. He was fascinated by Mr. Duffy's tools. إذن he loved Mr. Duffy and he loved his tools. Point number 3, what did George see on the kitchen table and what did he smell? Here we have two questions in point number 3. What did he see? He saw bowls of plums and peaches. And what did he smell? He smelled simmering fruit, يعني boiling fruit, فواكه تغلي. طيب number 4, what things were growing in the courtyard? يعني الأشياء اللي كانت مزروعة بالحديقة اللي هم كان في عنا beech tree and flowers. Number 5, what things were in Mr. Duffy's workshop? Now we will go to the workshop of Mr. Duffy. What was there? Do you remember? There were tools, many kinds of tools. في عنا paints, في عنا varnish, screws and nails. طيب في عنا number 6, what was Mr. Duffy doing when George went into the workshop? He was working. طب what was he doing exactly? He was looking carefully at a thick piece of wood and scrutinizing at it. He felt very satisfied. صح? He looked in a very nice way because of satisfaction. كان راضي كتير عن الورك تبعه، عن ال piece of wood، قطعة الخشب. 7, what was Mr. Duffy like and what did he wear? Here too we have two questions. What was Mr. Duffy like? اللي هي describe the appearance of Mr. Duffy. شكله لمستر Duffy. He was thin and tall. These were the most striking things in him for George. طيب the next part, what did he wear? He wore a blue apron and what else? He wore glasses. Yes. 8, how did he seem to George? يعني how did George see Mr. Duffy? He seemed to George like a wise old bird and sharp-eyed and thoughtful. So like a wise old bird, sharp-eyed and thoughtful. Number 9, what 3 objects were on the table? There were 3 objects on the table. They were mentioned in the lesson. اللي هو a large polished box, 2 a small round table, 3 Sally's present, which is the boat. Number 10, what was Sally's present? We said in number 9 that Sally's present was a boat and it was wooden, a wooden boat with sailors in it. Let's move to exercise number 2. Match the adjectives in the box to the nouns and write descriptive phrases. When we match those adjectives inside the box with these with these nouns, we will make descriptive phrases. طيب let's read the adjectives in the box. They are rosy, tasty, sharp-eyed, neat and polished. Number 1, the noun is box. In 2, the noun is man. In 3, racks and racks of tools. 4, cheeks. 5, food. These nouns are all mentioned in our lesson with these adjectives to make descriptive phrases, and let's match them according to our lesson. Box, it came with the adjective polished box. man, sharp-eyed man, who is Mr. Duffy. 3 racks of tools, neat racks of tools, describing the racks اللي هم shelves. 4 rosy cheeks, the cheeks of the sailors in the boat. 5 tasty food in the kitchen of Mrs. Duffy. Exercise number 3, think about the answers to these questions. Discuss your ideas. Here, each one of you, as usual, gives his own opinion or his own answer from his own imagination or thinking. 1. What do you think George liked about Mr. Duffy's workshop? يعني شو اللي حبه George in Mr. Duffy's workshop? He liked his tools and the arts he made, or the crafts he always make. Like these things. 2. Why do you think Mr. Duffy was one of George's favorite people? He liked Mr. Duffy maybe because he is a neat person, maybe because he is a friendly man, he is kind to children, maybe they like the same things, they like crafts and the pieces of work that Mr. Duffy make. 3. What sort of person do you think Mrs. Duffy was, and how do you know? هلا we will describe Mrs. Duffy in each one's opinion. اللي هي Mrs. Duffy, I think she is a busy person because she is always cooking. And when she welcomed George, she asked him to go to the workshop by himself. She didn't go with him because she is working in the home. She is a kind woman to children like Mr. Duffy. Number 4, what sort of person do you think Mr. Duffy was? How do you know? Mr. Duffy, we said he is kind to children. He is a neat person. He likes crafts. He likes to make funny things like the boat and its sailors. Number 5, why do you think George felt that Sally would like the present? Maybe because she likes toys and the boat with its sailors is like a toy. Each one of the sailors look different from the others, so it's a nice present. Number 4, find each verb in the text of these verbs. Read the whole sentence, try to guess the meaning, write the word next to the correct definition below. Here we have some verbs we took in our lesson and these are their definitions. Let's read the verbs and remember their meanings in Arabic. وافت اللي هي حكينا للسمل تنبعث الرائحة. سمر بويل يغلي. دروب يتدلى أو ينحني. لين يتكئ أو يرتكي. scrutinize to look carefully اللي هي النظر للشيء بتمعن. curve اللي هي ينحت. wink يغمز. grin to smile أو يبتسم. mind to refuse أو يرفض. perch يضع. Number 1, to bubble gently overheat اللي هي simmer. 2, to shut then open one eye very quickly while looking at someone اللي هي wink يغمز. 3, to make an object by cutting from wood or stone اللي هي curve. 4, to float in the air waft. 5, to hang down droop. 6, to bend the body in the middle lean. 7, to look very carefully حكينا scrutinize. 8, to give a very big smile grin. 9, to not want to do something to يعني refuse something اللي هي mind. 10, to sit on the edge or end of something perch.